So I have been working about 5 years pushing why we need to have dredging in our public canals.
At this week's Palm Coast City Council workshop, a major breakthrough was announced for the city's waterways. A new funding opportunity paving the way for long-awaited canal dredging projects that could improve navigation, property values, and public access throughout Palm Coast. Randy Stapleford, Commissioner for the Florida Inland Navigation District.
For those counties under a population of 250,000, that's how we had to work this out, will be eligible for waterway grants for the canals 50-50. So I couldn't be happier. That's the reason I really wanted to be pushing the last 5 years to make this happen. I know everybody that's on the canal is looking for waterways to get money for the waterways. The details of that program, I can brief individuals later. It's not too much different than any other waterway assistance project, but I'm glad to say today that you are all approved for 50-50 grants for the waterway dredging. It's very specific to dredging. You can't use it for anything else on that specific sort of a grant.
Vice Mayor Teresa Pontieri credited Stapleford's persistence.
Really quickly, I want to also thank Randy Stapleford. I know you've worked tirelessly on this. We've had multiple conversations on your efforts and your push, and this definitely would not have happened without you. You've just been a pioneer for this and for our community. And as we look to hopefully make this canal dredging more affordable, I look forward to working with Find and our state representatives and hopefully bringing more money into the community for canal dredging. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Commissioner Stapleford.
The new grant eligibility opens the door for future state and federal partnerships to improve Palm Coast waterways, one dredge at a time. Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Thursday, October 30th.
While Florida has a stand your ground law, it all determines on the individual facts of that situation.
The ins and outs of firearms liability were discussed here on WNZF.
During Free for All Friday, Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley told David Ayers that even though Florida is a stand your ground state, it's not that cut and dry and has to be exercised with extreme caution.
If you pull out a gun and shoot someone because you felt threatened, and all the person was doing was yelling at you, you're probably going to go to jail because the circumstances, the facts of the case don't rise to the level that you could use deadly force.
The sheriff warns that if you own a firearm and you're willing to use it, you'd better be fully prepared.
Not only do you need training in firearms, but you need training in legal. And let me tell you what will happen if you shoot someone. I guarantee you're going to get sued. If they survive, you're going to get sued by them. If they don't survive, you're going to get sued by their relatives, family members. You could be financially devastated.
So he recommends, instead of pulling the trigger,
the best thing to do is de-escalate. We do a lot of de-escalation training in the sheriff's office, along with hundreds of hours of firearms training. I'm very proud of our record on de-escalation.
He's often seen cooler heads prevail, leading to a better outcome.
You know, we could have probably used deadly force anywhere 13 to 16 times since I've been sheriff in 8.5 years. We've done it once. And that's because the individual was a fugitive, did not give us an opportunity to try to de-escalate. He pointed a gun immediately at a deputy and he was shot. And then the deputies went into life-saving mode and saved his life. Those are the realities of decisions that you have to make.
Tune into Free for All Friday at 9 o'clock on Friday mornings or anytime on the Flagler radio app. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Liz Ryan.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, conveniently located right off I-95 at exit 311. In other news, a federal bankruptcy judge has temporarily halted the $7.1 million sale of Marineland Dolphin Adventure, saying community bidders who want to keep the historic marine park operating deserve consideration. Judge Lori Silverstein declined to approve the sale, citing questions over how the auction was handled and the fate of the animals on site. A follow-up hearing is set for Monday, reopening the door for a competing $4 million offer from dolphin specialist Jack Kasowitz and former Marineland manager Felicia Cook. And finally, the Palm Coast Fire Department's Hall of Terror returns for its 24th year tonight with a Friday the 13th theme. The haunted attraction runs today through tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. at Fire Station 21 on Corporate Drive, with a special low sensory hour from 6 to 7 for those who prefer fewer lights and sounds. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.